Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Malus Reviews. Depending on which channel you're seeing this on, I suppose. I am your host, Malus, and with me in this particular review is Jack from Gen Vamp Nation.
Just call me Gen Vamp, it's fine.
Gen Vamp, alright. And one of our vlog regulars, Fox.
Uh,
So today we're going to be talking about the movie Krampus, which released this particular winter. So basic quick summary of the idea of the plot. A young boy by the name of Max has been pretty much the only person in his family to not have issues with people, even though he's been frequently bullied by his extended family. But this particular year was the last and final straw, as he literally made a Santa list to help his family, and instead his family has shit on him for it. Losing any kind of hope for his extended family and even his immediate family, he rips apart the list and sends it into the air, which then suddenly creates a snowstorm, as the season itself has apparently picked Krampus to be the harbinger of the lost interest of the people in this particular city. In particular, focusing on Max, as he was the last person to lose hope.
Yeah.
And what ensues is the Krampus minions, for the most part, one by one picking off the family, either through a demonic Jack in the Box, a group of living gingerbread men, a robotic toy with a knife, a killer teddy bear, a really creepy angel thing, and, and then finally the elves before the Krampus himself appears before us.
Hmm.
And in the end, spoiler alert, Max tries to face off against the Krampus in order to save his family, only for the Krampus to take Max and literally send him into the same sulphurous pit that he sent everyone else. And then the major end twist is that instead of waking up to Christmas morning and everything being normal, he opens up with his first present and it's a Krampus bell, and everyone remembers, and they realize they are imprisoned by the Krampus himself. The end. You're all screwed.
Well, yeah. Uh, I guess I will start with it, huh?
So yeah, general talk, yes.
Yes, my thoughts on this. I understand what the moral is. Be careful what you wish for, and all that. There
Mm-hmm.
were some really interesting kills, but I had a problem with how some of the shots were. Like some were, or shall I say most, were just a bit too up close for me. Like in terms of the action scenes, which is the main highlight of the whole deal. Right?
Here or there. I will
I
agree that when the elves attack, there are a few close-ups that could have been pulled back.
Oh yes, that's one of the things. It's also when they were fighting other creatures. I love the. I'm gonna start with the pros before I get to the cons, which there are numerous, by the way.
Mm.
Like I said, the up close portion was not that great, but my favorite parts would probably have to be a few scenes in which were actually pretty funny, usually delivered by David Keckner and that bitch Aunt. What's her name? Aunt Dorothy. Yeah.
yeah.
Snops. And I'm like, and I love how she tells the kids, "Don't rat me out." I'm like, that joke doesn't work now because apparently you already announced it to her, which everyone else around you could actually
Well,
hear
she
you say
wasn't
that.
going to originally share, but
I know, right? Okay, you got me there, but you see what I'm saying? It was pretty funny. They were pretty fun.
Yeah,
Some
the humor really
moments.
was a strong part of the movie. I was actually surprised. Like, I expected a lot of it to be just really corny, but actually, a lot of it was pretty funny. So,
actually, I knew
It
somewhat of
was
what to expect because these are the same people who made Trick or Treat, which also had its tongue firmly in its cheek for the first half of the movie.
Yeah, I can easily say that there's some appeal with Trick or Treat, but I found the short regarding Trick or Treat to be 10 times more appealing. But that's
I've
just
never
me.
actually seen the short, just little short clips of it, maybe.
I've seen it. It's actually on the DVD of it.
Mm.
It's
Which I
actually
don't own yet. I need to get that one of these days.
all I could say is that it's what inspired Trick or Treat, which, in my opinion, was crap, but it had some good ideas.
Hmm.
Okay, what else can I actually say about this? Well, I actually took some notes. Aside from the Krampus monsters looking creatively created, I think that all in all, it has some similarities to Gremlins, but it's played more straight, which can be an
Yes.
issue for someone like myself. But that's because
I have
I
no
like,
problems with it being played more straight for the most part.
I don't know, I like Gremlins better, to be honest. I just felt
Gremlins
that
played
the
it fairly straight for the most part as well,
true,
until the
but
things got way over the top.
yeah, but I found Gremlins to be much more appealing in that regard with how the creatures come into the picture. Krampus just shows up because, well, we first find out about him was through a ripped up Santa note, which Max wrote and tossed it into the wind, and then it summons him. So, if we were to go about this logically, that's what I'd have to do in order to summon that asshole? Really? That's
Yeah, it seems pretty
bullshit.
straightforward, don't it?
Well, I will
Yes.
agree that it does seem a little ridiculous that the the only person holding back the Krampus from appearing is a child who still has hope that the people in his family could be saved, and then he gives up.
And his grandmother, that's who also encountered it, right? It's the grandmother?
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. What was her name?
Um,
I just think they call her German for grandmother,
Okay, we'll call her or
just
Gma.
grandmother.
Yeah, Gma.
yeah.
I know what
Grandmaster Flash.
like I said, there are some pretty good jokes here and there. Of course, there's appeal to be found there. I just personally feel that whatever it tries to do in that regard has been done in a much greater amount and done a lot better by Gremlins, but that's probably because I like a lot of older horror flicks a lot better than the newer ones. That's just me though. I mean, I do like Creepshow and Creepshow too, but I just feel that the appeal for those is just better. But that's just me. I guess it's because I'm a little
I
picky.
Yeah, I would have to argue that I think you have some sort of issue that I don't understand because as a as a fan of the Gremlins franchise, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the first Gremlins in particular. I still think this is a really damn fun movie.
Mm.
I absolutely adored this movie. The major thing that I think saves this movie in particular is the amount of craft put into it. You don't
Yeah.
see this much craft put into like half the movies that come out anymore, unless it's made by like Weta Studios, and which, by the way, it was made by Weta Studios, or something along the lines of Lord of the
Okay.
Rings or The Hobbit.
I appreciate the craft. I never said that I didn't. I just felt that it
Well,
had
I didn't
potential.
say that you didn't appreciate the craft. I'm
I just,
saying that I think the number one thing that helps save this movie is the amount of craft that goes into it, because
yeah.
visually everything gets saved by the fact that these things are actually there and actually threatening these people. Because they actually have something legitimate to react to as it's actually being thrust in their face and pounding in their back and everything else.
Well, yeah, they're actually smarter than most stereotypes. I appreciate that. Of course. I can definitely see that. I never said that I didn't understand.
Hmm.
I just feel that
Also,
Gremlins,
that Krampus makeup, holy shit!
yes, even though a
That
lot
that
of the
that thing was large and impressive. It's something out of Jim Henson.
yes, even though the movie's kind of a little bit ruined by the fact that the action scenes, while there are some that are enjoyable, most of which I found to be passable, but that's just me. I don't know. It's probably because it was a bit too up close for me.
Well,
I don't know.
here's also the thing, though, is even though they were really up close, you could still tell what was going on, as opposed to, say, something made by a certain man who produces Transformers movies.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying that I couldn't tell what was going on.
And but I will agree that it didn't need to be that close. But at the same time, it does help with the claustrophobic feeling of the actual movie itself, because these are people enclosed in a very tight, small place, trying to fend for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. There are good visuals and effects. I can say that much.
Oh, actually, the one thing I do have a complaint about is we didn't get enough decent lighting when the elves attacked.
I have
It's
to
not even just the
agree.
close-ups; it's also the lighting in that particular sequence as well. I would have wished for a little bit better light.
I'd have to agree with that actually because I've noticed that myself. In fact, it's been very dark in certain other areas. But yeah, I know what you mean.
But in that one in particular, that's where
Most
the
dark.
darkness really
Mhm.
got me. Is like, come on.
It's the most dominating there.
hmm The only well lit scene that I could recall of that particular sequence was the very end as the head elf is leaving and he kind of stops in the window frame and does this little legend number like he's trying to be threatening before leaving.
Also, there's this one character, BB or Stevie. Oh yeah, Stevie. That was her name. Even
hmm
though, one thing I could say about her is she actually got pulled straight through the snow, which I was actually thrilled. Hate that freaking character, along with most of the in-laws. Well, David Keckner was all right, the uncle.
hmm
Yeah.
Well,
But
he was the badass. He
y-
needed to be around and take a good beating before we got rid of him.
yeah, I know, right? But it's like we see Stevie get pulled down through the snow, right? Yet, like a few seconds later, he sees Krampus and his minions taking them down to hell, right? But then it's
hmm
like he stops him, seeing that Stevie is still alive, and I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" That's illogical, yo. Wow, I could so see CinemaSins picking this apart. It would be appealing to see that, to
I
be
will
honest.
say that I found the end climax of Krampus a little less than enduring. Yeah, the whole let's face off against Krampus, but then he just literally stands there and does nothing but yell.
Right. Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah,
anticlimactic.
I
But
have to
At least
it
to
agree.
was
try
it's a
to attack the Krampus
PG-13
with the
movie.
machete you
Like
have,
how
kid.
climactic can you really get with a PG-13 movie? And I
Yeah.
unfortunately I think like that hurt a lot of the scenes in the movie because I felt like I felt like they're kind of holding back. Like they wanted
Yes.
just a little bit more, but
I want the
like
DVD to be a rated R version.
yeah, like I'm hoping there's an unrated version that comes out or something. And I hope that helps, but like I still don't think it's gonna like that final scene where the kid's just like going on a tirade about Christmas, like Krampus at the end. It's just there's no way they can really make that like
However, I will agree with the Krampus's reaction to the kid at the end of the movie.
Yep.
I just
yeah.
want Christmas to be back to normal.
Yeah,
Please, punk. Drop.
I know, I love that. I have
yeah.
to agree with that. Was actually one of my favorite parts of the film, aside from some funny parts and some good kill scenes, like the way the gremlins, not the gremlins, the gingerbread men were picked off.
Oh, yes.
That was funny. I actually loved that one, how he killed them.
Propane
Actually
tank, and
reminded me
then one of
so
them
much
tries
of
to still
Gremlins right
attack, and then it
there.
gets eaten by a dog.
So yes, demonic toys and Gremlins, fuse them together and you get Krampus.
Essentially.
But yes, that's pretty much what I can tell of the whole ordeal. Uh, what else? In the attic, that was particularly creepy.
Yes, the attic
Yes,
scene
that
was
was one
particularly
of
well done.
yeah. The attic sequence was like probably my favorites. Like as far as effects goes and everything, it was just
Yeah, we
I
have,
really
like,
enjoyed it.
most of our creatures right there.
Right.
Yeah, that little robot thing jumped on Adam Scott's back.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, right? Yeah,
I
the
think it
actor.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dad basically.
Unfortunately, the one bad thing about that whole scene sequence for me was that it kind of ruined the reveal of Krampus's face for me at the end of the movie, like or later on. Like it just after seeing everything, I was expecting something a little bit more sinister, a little bit more creepy, and it still was. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was as over the top as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's also what I feel is an issue with the film in general. Like, I like that it involves creatures. I do. I just feel that this sort of thing has been done better by. I just think Gremlins is superior in overall. In a sense, it's a homage to it, and I could definitely see the appreciation. But to me, Gremlins will be better.
That depends also. If this movie does well enough, I think it did, they might actually be able to pursue a sequel.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
what
could
I'm
actually
wondering
start
about too
working on
now.
getting it to be a bit better than it was this time around.
Oh, I'm not
Because this
denying
this time
that.
around was obviously them being very touchy-feely with what passes and what doesn't, and they still were kind of in the middle of the road.
Well,
Right.
depends on if they make enough money to actually do that. I mean, I'm certain that
And
they
maybe the
can.
next one will be rated R.
Hopefully.
Give me a
Yeah.
hard R, damn it.
Me too. Yeah.
Give me that R.
Let's see now.
Um,
I couldn't agree with you more. I love that I actually found out that Krampus is a villain in previous films with Krampus in the title.
yes. Yes, there actually were previous Krampus movies, as well as another one that just recently came out as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, all
And
of them are extremely shit.
yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen any of the other movies. Where I had seen Krampus before was actually an American Dad. So
Yes, Krampus has been cropping up in cartoons for like the last 5 years or so. A lot.
Oh yeah.
yeah, so like yeah, when I saw the trailer for this, I like kind of like shit bricks, and I was like, oh, I gotta see this, and my wife was like, no way.
There's one movie called Krampus the Reckoning, and it looks like a really shit CG monster.
Yep. Definitely.
There's another one from 2010. I have not a clue what it's about, but it looks pretty rubbish.
Mm. B.
I think maybe it's Krampus the Christmas Devil. Yeah, it looks to be Krampus the Christmas Devil, which apparently was made in 2010, but also just got re-released this year. I wonder why.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a
The,
coincidence, I'm sure.
And then
he's
there's this
like,
other one.
yeah,
I'm trying
definitely.
to remember what it was called. It's more than just the Krampus story. There's like several different things. It's like a collection of holiday stories all packed together. One of which is Santa Claus having to deal with elves that are turning into zombies.
Mhm.
And then the end game of this particular collection of stories is that Krampus is behind this, and Santa Claus has to fight Krampus.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned this because I
That
actually
could
find.
be.
Go on.
I was gonna say that could be a sequel.
Yeah, it could.
Exactly.
Now the thing I wanted to ask is that Santa that the Santa Claus with elves zombies one. What is that one called?
Here it is. A Christmas Horror Story.
Christmas Horror Story. I'll definitely have to watch that one because I watch a lot of zombie flicks.
Apparently, the short stories before that are completely and totally shit, and that's like half of the movie. But then the last half totally redeems it with zombie elves and Santa versus Krampus.
Hmm. Talk
But
about false ad.
it's still gonna be a very uh, low budget film.
Sounds like false advertising.
No, it's extremely low budget. It's a very silly film, and the cover, by the way, has Santa and Krampus on it. So there's not even a mention on the cover of the zombie elves. Although there are a lot of little skulls all around them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the first half of the movie is completely totally awful, apparently.
It's
And
a
then it
shame.
starts to try and redeem itself with zombie elves.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm guessing that it probably didn't do the best job, but I'd like to see that.
It's low budget. It's gonna be schlocky as all get out, but it'll probably be another fun romp.
Possibly. Hmm.
By the way, the Krampus is very obviously a guy in a full costume.
Ah. Red Letter Media gave a lot of coverage on the Krampus character.
Yes, they kind of a quick shot at all the other ones and just went, yeah, this one's shit, this one's even more shit, this one is particularly the cream of the shit.
This is the cream of the cream of the crop of shit.
Yeah, the one they focused on the most was Krampus the Reckoning, which was absolutely terrible. The quote-unquote Krampus, which is a digital CG monster, appears like 2 or 3 times in the entire movie.
Mm. Apparently, I believe. Hold on, let me see.
Forgetting the fact that it's even a Krampus movie.
Oh yeah,
I wonder if maybe Krampus was just dubbed in.
possibly. Let's see. Carn Evil. You ever played that game?
Carnival, never heard of it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, according to what I just found out, Krampus actually made an appearance in Carn Evil, which is an arcade game from 1998. Yeah. It's interesting. I just heard about it, so might be fun to play. Anyway, let's see what else to say about the film.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go on about that one.
Actually, should we stop the general discussions and go into favorite scenes? Although I'm sure we kind of covered most of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the action scenes and funny moments and visuals I liked. That's my favorite scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
like I already said, like the sequence in the attic with all the creatures, that was really a highlight for me. And I did like the end of the movie as well. I was really worried they were going to go with an obvious cop out, but
yes,
I was thankful that they didn't. So
yes, very much so. It's like, okay, I guess I could let it pass. You are technically doing a Christmas Carol. Oh wait,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Krampus, the try too hard attempt at Gremlins. That's what I think, but you know.
Trying to think another particular scene I really liked. The when the uncle and the father leave and they start to uncover shit, like people are missing throughout the town, and the one place that they visit in particular, like a gingerbread man pinned to the fridge with a knife, and then the attack by the creature in the snow, which they have to save the uncle from.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
That was a pretty interesting sequence of events.
I have to agree. Actually, I wish. I wonder what that snow creature could have been, and why the hell didn't the snowman attack? That would have been some nice instances for some potential enemies. It's just something I kind of remembered. Because that would have been great.
I think the snowmen were just these things that the Krampus's minions were making. I don't know if they were actually intended to ever come to life, but that would be an interesting follow-up if they ever make a sequel.
They should have came to life. It would have been fun. I don't know. It would have been awesome kicking a lot of snowman ass. That would be great.
It'd be better than the Attack of the Snowmen from Doctor Who.
Oh hell, yeah. I definitely can agree with that.
Because that was some shit CGI is what that was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I know it's BBC, but come on.
Budget, bitch! Budget!
Yep. Definitely.
Oh. It's called Make Real Snowmen, then Melt Them, and then reverse the footage, assholes. It would have looked creepier.
Well, at least it's... Well, they could have also made a dry ice smoke monster. I'm just kidding. That would be terrible. Well, I know exactly how to beat that one. Air cleansing unit or something, or a vacuum.
Let's get a window fan.
Yeah, that. Window fan. Window fan, yes. The
Um,
world's largest one.
any particular scene you really like, Jack, or are you just gonna be?
I did just mention that
Oh,
earlier, but okay.
well,
I
I'm
like
Yeah.
saying like pick one in particular that you really liked.
one in particular. Well,
Yes,
I
like I
really
mentioned the sequence where they went into the one house and then got attacked by a snow monster. Um, Fox mentioned the attic scene. Anything else in particular that you really liked?
well, I did like mention the kitchen scene
The
and
kitchen
the
scene.
attic. I do like the attic scene too, for the most part,
Hmm.
especially when they end up actually defeating the monsters. I didn't like the fact that some monsters got away, but
Well, that was the lead up to the elves, anyways.
right. But yeah, I can understand that part. That's
And
that's a
also, it's a
minor
kind of
complaint.
a semi hint that not everyone has been getting killed. Apparently, a lot of this particular family has been getting captured, not actually killed.
Oh, I get that. I know that. Um,
Uh,
they would be even though the Krampus has come to murder them all, but all right, he just wants to take them back to hell. Take them to hell. It's kind of funny
take
because
them to hell, imprison them forever in a giant snow globe, and torture them for the rest of their lives until they learn their lesson or just completely give up.
I know, right? Succumb to my will.
Um, particular scenes we didn't like then.
Oh, didn't like. Well, when they were picking on him for the Christmas note thing,
Yeah, that was extremely childish.
it was stupid. It's like, really? Even though he's like, I love how Stevie's like, well, why did. He's like, my dad did not wish that me and my brother were boys. And like, are you kidding me? Look at how you're dressed, you dumb cunts. I know that was a joke. I'm like, are you serious? I was laughing at that point. Like, wow. That's
One of you
amazing.
two is into wrestling right now.
That was
Hmm.
intentional, though. Yeah, and they're into wrestling, which, of course, we see at times. And for some reason, the uncle approves. Yes, because wrestling makes you more manly, even though women can do it too. But no, we Americans wouldn't know anything about that. Isn't that right, WWE?
All of the divas are heels.
All your divas are belong to us. Sorry. Let's see.
It leads to bad story writing. You fail, WWE. You
Yeah.
fail.
Yes. The Marine, anyone? Anyway.
Ah.
Oh,
Ah.
oh.
Oh, yeah.
Particular scene I didn't care for.
Mm.
As much as I want to like it, there are some certain flaws that do detract from the elves.
Yeah.
Mostly the really poor lighting with mixed with unnecessary close-ups.
Oh, yeah. I don't like the unnecessary close-ups, but that's more than just that one
Because
scene.
and I know they could do better lighting because not even 5 minutes later we have a scene with the grandmother and Krampus where we can clearly see what's going on.
Yeah,
They could have done better lighting, and they
I
didn't.
agree. I agree. They could have done much
Yeah.
better lighting.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite scene as well. Just the elves.
They could have been really impressive, but they just didn't do it right.
I
There's
know.
certain flaws with that particular sequence that completely and totally detract from it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was such a nice build up until that point too.
Yeah. They could have made that more action-oriented instead of them just
Mm-hmm.
jumping all around.
They could have
Like,
actually had a pitched battle with the great aunt who had a shotgun.
I know, right?
Actually, watch her like take out a few elves before they actually managed to overwhelm her,
Oh, I
tie her
couldn't
up, and take
agree.
her away.
Yeah, there's so much potential for more action,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
even with the snowman and that snow sandworm or whatever, the snow monster,
The snow worm.
the snow worm.
We have worm sign.
Oh, that's great. I want to play Mega Worm now for some reason.
I want to watch Dune.
I want to watch Tremors.
Yeah.
So okay, that's our basics on the scenes we really liked and the scenes we didn't care for. So I guess it's general final thoughts then. My final thoughts is yes, this movie has some flaws and some skips in logic, But overall, I found it an extremely fun little romp, and I do hope that it does well enough to, if not promote another seasonal sequel unlike Trick or Treat, at least try and promote at least a second Krampus where they could iron out the details and possibly continue this into a franchise.
I hope that they do make a better. Here's the thing, all right? I can see potential with most films, including this one. I hope that it does make a better film than this one, because I felt that this was just not really that great. But, for me, it was meh. I found some things to enjoy about it, yes, but, you know, eh, I guess you could say I'm just, like I said, I feel that if they make a sequel, let's hope that it's better than this, because this has all the potential to make one.
Hmm. And Fox?
Yep. I would say yeah. If they do make a sequel, I hope that it's rated R. Like I said before, it's just I feel like kind of held back and lost some of the potential because of the PG-13 rating, which was unfortunate. But it's still a passable movie. It's still really enjoyable. So, um, yeah, I think it's a pretty solid movie.
All right, and I guess for ratings, I will attempt a rating. I generally really liked it. I recommend seeing it if possible. It's not the best movie that's come out recently, but it's by far the most entertaining one to have come out this month, and for sure one of the top two. Um, Also, if you're a horror fan, expect for some good creepy moments, but don't expect any major gore. That's the one thing, probably because of the PG-13 rating, that they completely skipped out on.
Yep.
Anyone else want to put in your rating?
I think we might have lost Gem Vamp.
Oh, we'll see if he comes back. So in the meantime, you can give your rating, Fox.
Um. Okay, so for rating, I would say yeah, I would recommend seeing it. Uh. Yeah. What else can I say for rating? Definitely, it's a good kind of like horror holiday movie. If you want to see something that like, if you're one of the people that like kind of grumps about the holidays a bit and complains about or just has like some horror stories about seeing relatives or anything, there's probably something here that you can kind of laugh at and relate to, um, like some crazy relatives or whatever. So
Hmm.
it's definitely a fun movie. It definitely has some good scares. So. And some of the creature designs, like I said, were definitely worth seeing. So,
He's back. Here we go.
uh,
My connection
Okay, so
died.
your rating, Jack.
My rating on it,
Your final rating on it.
5
Hmm?
out of 10.
Okay, 5 out of 10.
It
So
just,
it was mediocre for you.
yeah. I mean, look, I'm fine with some mediocrity, but this one just didn't exactly work for me. But that's just my opinion.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Opinions will vary.
Exactly. If they do make a sequel, and I really am not saying that I'm going to boycott this or anything, because that's what a lot of big fans or whatnot are probably going to be thinking. Oh, you don't care about this film. You don't like horror films at all. Like, well, I do. I just think that ones from the past are better mostly. But I'm not saying that I can't see potential here. If they make a sequel, I welcome it. I'll go see it. I'll see it if they make a sequel. Hell,
Hmm.
hell, what they should do is set up a way to get more funding, because this got mixed reviews when it came out. So if we're going to talk about the bright sides, it would be a sequel, yes, and continuing on with this franchise, because they really should.
hmm
And that's it.
Alrighty. So I'm going to say that's about it for this time. I will see you all next month, and we'll see what I review then. Actually, I have an idea, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to go with it yet. But we'll see next month. Alright, that's all for now. See you all next time.